What's up, guys? Welcome to my apartment tour, the Airbnb here in Los Angeles. We were close to Atwater Village, Glasgow neighborhood. I forgot, Glassell Park neighborhood, maybe something like that. All right, so let me show you guys around and kind of give you an idea of what we got. So this is the Airbnb. This is the kitchen area, and it's pretty good size, honestly, for this size Airbnb. This is a one-bedroom Airbnb, so I'll take you through the kitchen in just a minute. This is the entry here, and I actually got a pretty nice, really nice view of everything. And got a little seating area here. You can see all the way through West LA actually, and you can see the hills up there. And the place is done really nicely. Some plants that the person here has. This is actually, I think, a rental, and it's a rental, and she's given it to us for. She's away in, I think, another country. I think Italy, and she's renting it to us while she's away. And this is my Juntas Mais Fortes T-shirt. It's the slogan for the women's movement in Galicia. So I got the T-shirt I forgot where I was, but anyway, cool T-shirt. So this is the living room, super cute, super simple, little heater over there, and she has a AC over there. Those are my clothes. I'll get to that in a minute. And the bedroom, pretty straightforward. Really nice window. Look at that, 2 windows on each side, and then the bed. And here is where all our clothes are hanging. We don't have much. All our clothes, and we got a few in these drawers, and then the bathroom, which is a really nice, simple bathroom. So the reason I wanted to give you guys a bit of a tour of my apartment, of this apartment, is because in a way, this has been sort of our lifestyle, to go back and forth and find a place to live, like an Airbnb or something. Hold on, get comfortable. Find an Airbnb and be able to make it comfortable, make it a place that we can live, we can cook, we can eat healthy. And when we move around this much, like pretty much every 3 months we've been moving, it gets a bit tough. But I'm hoping that that's going to change slowly. We're going to make some changes. So anyway, let me give you a bit of a tour of the kitchen. The reason I want to give you a tour of the kitchen is because I think one of the best things you can do to be healthy is to try to make your own food. And one of the things we do a lot is just cook. I'm actually making ginger beer myself right now. Got some onions to make as a base for a lot of my dishes. Make a lot of like oven fried potatoes, so instead of deep frying them, and then do a lot of sweet potatoes as well. Main things we got was some salt and some vanilla extract to do like pancakes in the morning. And she has a lot of stuff herself, but the main thing I bought is 100% whole wheat flour. I got some rolled oats, and I got some masa harina to make tortillas. And we got some long grain rice, which is actually soaking over here. So we're soaking that. At the farmer's market, I got some kiwis, like actual local kiwis. And I'm munching on some carrots over here. And as soon as we got in, actually we bought a couple of bottles of wine, and I'm soaking some oats and some almonds to make some almond and oat milk. I found free-range eggs, super cool, like straight up free-range. Like the eggs all look different, the yolks all look different, so like it's real. And then I'm kind of did a quick pickle of some cucumbers and some onions. I don't know if you can see it well, but those are delicious. Those came out super good. Got some tofu, got some tempeh over here. And those are easy things to cook with, especially when you want to avoid meat. And it's not that I want to avoid meat because I think meat is unhealthy. It's mostly because I don't trust the quality of meat. And here's the ginger that I'm making, the ginger beer over here. So starting to get some bubbles on top, and that's looking really good. I'm excited to that's the base for the ginger beer, and then I'll mix some honey and cut a bunch more ginger and kind of mix that in together. So that should be really nice. And we don't need much to cook. I mean, I bake, I cook, I do everything. And so far we've only used this guy And I've used this circular bottom one to make some oven fried potatoes, oven baked potatoes, and this little guy for our coffee in the morning. And that's pretty much all we've needed to be really, really comfortable here. And yeah, I mean, it helps if you have one of these little Ninja blenders. I think that's all it is. It's just a simple blender. It's really nice because you can make a lot of stuff that you'd otherwise have to buy. And I don't trust the stuff I buy. Like, you look at almond milk. When you want to buy almond milk, it's got so many ingredients. It's just, you know, I'd rather pay for it. I'd rather make it myself, I guess. So let me put this down and talk to you guys some more. All right. As far as this apartment, we're paying $3,200. And I have a feeling the person who's renting this place is renting it for somewhere around $1,500 to probably closer to $1,700 to $1,800. That's kind of the range I'm guessing. And it's got really good high-speed internet, and it's a gas stove, water, electricity. So those are kind of the main things that she's probably paying for. It's probably not too bad for being in Los Angeles, and the location is wonderful. Like, I feel really safe walking down here. If you saw out the door that I showed you guys, like, if I go left, there's a cafe over there. If I go right, there is I forgot the name. Lemon Poppy Seed Cafe is over there, and then I'll put those things in a link so you guys can click on it in case you're curious what neighborhood we're staying in, the kind of things that I can go to, which is great. Right? I mean, I think it's really wonderful to be able to go to these places, to walk to it, right? And to be able to really, I mean, we landed here maybe just 5 days ago, I think, just 4 or 5 days ago. Landed here, got into this apartment, immediately bought a few things for groceries. Probably spent about $100 to kind of get all the basics that you need to be super comfortable in an Airbnb. And for me, it's mostly about baking, cooking, and doing as much from scratch as possible. I'll use some spices. I'll get some natural tea, like some tea that somebody's selling at a farmer's market. I usually trust that. I rarely will cook with oil, but my girlfriend wants it, so I'll get some a brand of olive oil that I trust. The rest of it is all just crap. I'll buy a couple of as much dry stuff as I can. I got this mushroom from this guy who was selling it at the farmer's market. He dries it all himself, and he's got a little cute small operation, old Asian guy. So funny, he was talking to him. Anyway, oh my God, these smell so good. And then the things that we obviously will splurge on. You always got to splurge on something. I mean, either you get a super nice place and you don't spend as much on food, or you get a really shitty place and you spend a lot on food. We get really good coffee, and so this is the blend that my girlfriend, she has it, Nilu, she has it ground already, but I generally will just grind it myself with my little grinder. Travel with this guy everywhere. And I recently was traveling with it's this little pour over thing that I had, but unfortunately I think we may have lost it in the trash. So fortunately she had this little sieve, and I've been using that. It makes perfect coffee. I don't really think that my girlfriend's coffee comes out any better than mine, and she uses coffee filters. So I just do a little pour over on top of that, and it's perfect. So coming into this apartment, that's really all we did. And as soon as we got in, we were paying the $3,200 a month. We said, all right, this is a nice place. Why don't we stay here longer? And the question was, do we really want to be in LA for 3 months? LA is loud. That's the trash out there. And then there's trash truck. And the rest of the time, not the rest of the time, but plenty of times if you're just trying to sit here and be super chill, motorcycles really loud, like cars revving their engine, going up the street. So it can be a bit of a tough neighborhood, tough place in general to be in LA. Like, for example, when I walk just to go to this cafe, it's a relatively busy street. I mean, I have to wear my big headphones because otherwise it's just unbearable. It's so loud. It's really uncomfortable. And I'm probably more noise sensitive than other people, for sure. So outside of Airbnb, we decided to agree with her to do $2,800 a month for 2 more months. So we just basically Venmo'd her $5,600, and the other $3,200 was for this. And I think that's fair. I don't feel very uncomfortable doing that outside of Airbnb. I think that opportunity should always be available to people, but there isn't. So most of the time, we've negotiated prices outside of Airbnb when we've wanted to stay longer. And then, yeah, my girlfriend, she's gonna be doing some rheumatology clinic work. She took some call. She takes call once On a Sunday, she makes like $600 even if she doesn't go in, and usually she won't have to go in. And then she's doing some clinic days where I think she'll make about $1,000 for the day, which is really low. But there's a lot of support. Basically, the PAs kind of see the patients, and she's just really there to kind of oversee the care, etc. So it's pretty good. More cars and trucks going by. The place otherwise is pretty chill. At night, it's super quiet, and it's nice being back in LA in certain ways. I did a podcast episode on that. You can listen to that if you want, the Digital Nomad Physician podcast. But I think in some senses it's nice being here, but in some senses you also feel very obligated to do a lot, to be productive, to be super, go, because you got to spend a lot of money. I mean, just going to the grocery store or getting, I had a really healthy burrito from this local cafe, the Lemon Poppy Seed Cafe that I was telling you guys about. And with a coffee, it came out to 18 something, and that's with tip. So it adds up. I mean, $18 for one meal is tough. I mean, that's gonna add up rather quickly. But cooking at home a little bit more is obviously better, and I think that's one way to kind of cut that cost. As for the rest of the time, I've been walking. I've really enjoyed walking around here. It's relatively safe. Haven't encountered anything odd. I haven't walked very late at night here either, but it is really, really loud. I mean, it's not going to be a stroll or enjoyable. I mean, cars are whizzing past you, and you got wait forever for the light to change, etc. But if I have some pretty big headphones and sound, what is it called? Noise canceling headphones or whatever. So those have been pretty good. What else? Today I ran some errands without a car for the first time. So it takes about maybe 12 to 15 minutes to drive on the street down here to go to the main area where there's like a Sprouts and CVS and copy center, etc. I don't own a printer. I don't own any kind of scanner device or anything. I just make my life, no stapler, no hole punchers, nothing. I just make my life simple. If I want to go anywhere, I go to FedEx or UPS where they have that kind of stuff. I go to copy centers and print centers. So I found a print center here nearby. I took the bus, the line 218 or 256, or I don't even remember. Well, I took the bus line, and I even filled up my Metro card, which I have for LA. It's $1.75 per bus ride. And I was gonna put $10 on it, and I was gonna pay, and the guy's like, "Yeah, it's free, man." And he wasn't even wearing a mask. He's like, "Fucking just get it." So I guess that's LA right now because of the pandemic. But I took the bus all the way to the copy center. I was gonna renew my passport. I went to the check cashing place, which plenty because there was a lot of immigrants here in LA, and so I got a money order for $90, which only cost me $1. I printed some documents, which cost me like $2. Printed a bunch of papers. I just emailed her the document, and she prints it. Obviously, there's some security issues there to worry about, but my credit is actually frozen, so I'm not too worried about somebody stealing my credit. It can still happen. They can jack your your tax returns, etc. There's a lot of ways that you can get jacked. There's only so much I can do. And then I just printed it, I FedExed it, $15. I FedExed my old passport and applied for a new passport because it was due for renewal. And then I just walked back, and it was really nice. I sat down, had a cup of coffee, which cost me $3.75 for a cup of 12-ounce coffee plus $1 tip. That's $4.75 for one cup of coffee, one cup. But it was tasty coffee. So that's kind of been my day, and the rest of the time, usually when I wake up in the morning here in LA, I do a little bit of just answer work, and I will do a little bit of my MD Live telemedicine stuff. That's been kind of nice to just have that income coming in. And I've been applying to some local places. I've been trying to apply to some places for seeing some patients in person, doing some urgent care work, maybe some clinic work. I decided to not just do locum companies. For example, I use Tracy Zweig, tracyzweig.com. Incredible, she's fabulous. And she's always placed me in a lot of good gigs. But this time I'm like, you know what, I'm going to contact some of these local urgent cares myself and clinics and see if I can find a gig myself just to have a little bit of income. And I think that'll be nice. It'll be nice to do that. I'm always torn. I still don't really want to see a lot of patients. I really don't want to do a lot of clinical stuff, but at the same time, it is sort of nice to be back into the groove, to be able to do a little bit. I think I'm just anxious sometimes too. I feel really nervous about getting into the urgent care, into the clinic. I haven't seen patients in so long, right? Like actual in-person patients, it's been months, and you always have that fear. And there's a lot of Spanish-speaking patients. I'll always feel a little awkward speaking Spanish, but maybe I'm getting more comfortable with that as my Spanish improves. Let me pick up the phone and show you guys a few other things because I kind of want to give you guys a sense of what we do on a day-to-day basis. So I was able to find this awesome used bookstore nearby, actually right next to the cafe. I got a couple of Spanish books. These are little kids' books in Spanish. And I found El Principito, which is a classic book that you're supposed to read. And ironically, our friend just gave us this version of it, the English version. So we just got this one. So I got the Spanish one. I went and bought it. All these books cost me $35. A Spanish reader, so it's got Spanish on one side and English on the other. And I got this little vocabulary booklet. I think it's always good to review some of this stuff. I think my Spanish is fairly intermediate, but I think it's still good to be able to constantly review your Spanish and try to improve. We always travel really light. I brought one pair of shoes. I only brought one pair of shoes, and I think my girlfriend brought two. We did a set of laundry just in the bathtub, washed everything, cleaned everything, hung it up to dry. I know it's a little ghetto, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. Those are my awesome headphones, my Momentum wireless headphones, reading that herb book, and she's got some awesome books up there, so I'm super excited to get into those. And for my setup, to do a little bit of telemedicine and just answer, I keep it pretty simple. I have, I don't know if you guys can see with all that. Okay, good, finally, nice. All right, so I got a wireless keyboard over here, and I have this thing which actually folds really nicely into this little tube, and so I can put my laptop on it really easily and just brings it up a little bit so I can see better and don't have to cramp my neck. And I have that wireless mouse, and I got a little phone stand when I do my work. And that's pretty much it. We brought some other books from before from Nilu's mom's house. We brought those, some more Spanish books and some regular books. And I got my phone charger, my massive, bulky phone charger, my travel charger. And so, it's really nice to be able to travel this simply and just not have a lot of stuff. You might think that you miss it. You might think like, oh, it'd be nice to have a great desktop, laptop setup and be able to have a lot more clothes and things like that. But I think after a while you get used to this because what the opportunities you get are incredible. Like you have so many more opportunities of traveling and being in new places and meeting new people that you're willing to make that sacrifice. And I think it takes a while to get used to it because you spend a lot of time cooking, you spend a lot of time baking, you spend a lot of time preparing and traveling and walking. But your day that's how you spend your day. And I think at the end of the night, you just feel good, you feel comfortable. So that's been our stay here in Los Angeles. I maybe want to make another video kind of talking about the price ranges for LA for people who are thinking about buying something in LA. Actually, I'll do that. I'll do probably a screen recording completely separately just to give you an idea what it costs to live in LA long term. And I think that's a pretty good option because job opportunities are incredible. But as an urgent care doctor, you only make $100. Most urgent care clinics that I've talked to, they'll only offer you $100. $100 an hour. That's it. As a physician, can you imagine? My friends who do online consulting, who aren't physicians, who do computer design or computer programming, etc., they make way more than that. So it's difficult, but you can sign a full-time gig, I suppose, but then you'll be locked in. All right, guys, if you have any questions, email me, drmo@digitalnomadphysician.com, or check out the website at digitalnomadphysician.com.